It starts at home. It's got to start at home. If it doesn't include us, it's never going to happen.
This episode of CU Live is sponsored by our friends at MORPC, the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission, and features stories about local and regional partners that envision and embrace innovative directions in economic prosperity, transportation, sustainability, and an inclusive Central Ohio. MORPC's transformative programming, innovative services, and public policy initiatives are designed to promote and support the vitality and growth in the region. For more information, visit morpc.org or click the link in the video description.
Hello and welcome to CU Live. I'm Susan Post, Associate Editor of Columbus Underground, and I have with me today Jon-Paul D'Aversa, the Senior Energy Planner at the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission, or MORPC, as more of you might know it. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how you can be more energy efficient, both as an individual in your home and even as a business owner. And so there were some recommendations from a study that MORPC released in 2018, the Franklin County Energy Study, that really provided insight into energy use of residents and businesses, what's working, what's not. And one of the recommendations from the study was to reduce energy consumption in homes and businesses with a goal of 20% energy savings by 2030, decade away. So I want to talk about how we can start making that impact now. So first of all, kind of what's going to help make that bigger impact? Is it being more energy efficient at home, or do we really need to be focusing on petitioning these larger businesses and corporations to kind of change their energy practices? Or do you need both? Is there not really one without the other?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
It starts at home. It's got to start at home. If it doesn't include us, it's never going to happen. So we're people at home, the individual. That's the first step. Energy efficiency is one of those things. It's the least cost way to provide yourself with a kilowatt hour of energy. It's just not using it. It's a penny saved is a penny earned kind of thing. At the same time, we do need our businesses to lead the way. There's a great opportunity as far as commercial energy consumption in Franklin County. That's in the report, but it would go the same for any county in our region to really make dents in our energy consumption. And one of the easiest ways, and it's almost immediately cost effective right after you purchase it, is LED light bulbs. If you're not using LED light bulbs right now, you're just throwing money out the door.
What's kind of the savings that you could kind of immediately see if you switch to LED light bulbs?
Sure. So they use about a tenth of the energy as a normal light bulb. So
a tenth of the cost, perhaps.
Tenth of the cost. There you go.
Which kind of leads into the next question. Outside of those light bulbs, what are some other quick, easy tips for individuals to make their homes more energy efficient?
Yeah. So there's a few things that you can do, and there's even some of the things right outside your home that you can do as well. Number one, turn down the thermostat on your hot water heater. Turn it down to 120. A lot of time it goes all the way up to like 150.
Nobody needs that.
You don't need that. It's nice, but you can get away with 120. It's super easy. I haven't had mine above 120 for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
So that's one way, using less water. So that's less water that you need to heat. Any way that you can get away with that, whether it's colder showers, shorter showers, using it when you're washing your clothes, using the cold water cycle, all of those things help. Line drying your clothes is another great way to save a ton of electricity. And then outside of the homes, one of the best ways to save energy is with your vehicle. If you can afford an electric vehicle, and on the used car side, they're very affordable.
Okay.
Right now, it is about 6 cents per mile cheaper to drive an electric vehicle than it is a gas-powered vehicle.
Well, I know that's part of what MORPC does. I know you guys have done some work on looking at energy planning around electric vehicles and the impact that makes. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So one of the main drivers of this is not only that the price of gasoline and the emissions that contribute to climate change, but when you think about a car driving around the community, it's polluting right where people are walking. And so this is increasing asthma rates. and it's exacerbating other health complications that we have. You know, throw a pandemic in there with like COVID,
right,
and suddenly you have people really struggling to get by, and switching out the kind of fuel that we're using in our cars is technologically possible, relatively economic possible, and right now we're trying to catch up with charging stations and things like that to make it a really easy switch for everyone.
Great. Kind of want to go back to those tips real quick.
Yeah.
So what about business owners? What can business owners do? And maybe, you know, especially those that are renting a space so they don't have maybe total control over the HVAC system or this or that, you know, what can they do to help?
Yeah, so that's a difficult one. So you have that split between the owner who gets to make all the choices and the renter who just kind of has to deal with them. You actually have a lot of power to discuss with your landlord or the building owner to make changes, because they'll see it as an investment in their building, and you get the benefit of lower cost and being a better steward of the environment. So number one, get an energy audit done. Push the landlord to get that audit done. Try and turn down the thermostat whenever you can. Use smart controls if you have the ability to use them. So, you know, that's a real easy one. If you want to throw out the cost for a Nest thermostat, which are, you know, they're relatively cheap, especially for businesses right now. So you can make that switch and usually make that argument with your landlord.
Well, that's something we do here. Whoever leaves last, you turn it up or turn it down depending on the season.
That's right.
And, you know, we haven't been in the office as much lately, but it's all right. You know, so how quickly can doing some of these little things, you know, like the light bulbs, like turning down the thermostat or the water heater, really start to make an impact?
You'll see it immediately. You'll see it on your next bill. And that's another thing people need to realize too, is that how much energy you use fluctuates throughout the year. So more air conditioning in the summer, more heating in the winter. Your fall months, your shoulder months, those tend to be your lowest bills. So you'll see more of an impact depending on what it is. If you put in a better HVAC unit, you'll see more savings in the summer. If you put in a better heating unit, you'll see more savings in the winter. You know, everything like that.
Awesome. Well, some great tips and tricks you can try out right away to help reduce energy consumption. John-Paul, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.